program. Viewer discretion is advised.
Light the fires, Valhalla! Good morning, Valhalla! Gun Bunny Shockwave and Psychodorf 9! He's the Mad Doctor, a Dega Outlaw! The angriest wrench on the internet, Mark the Infinitely Tired! Charlotte Pittman! Project Cambridge! The wrench of wrenches, Chris Persia! The Rooster Dave Bob! Ghost Rider! Daisy Girl Williams! Undead Ramen! Good morning! It is time to wake the neighbor's voice with Southern Viking! Master Craftsman Andy Masterson! Grumpy old Marine Man! Justice Davalina! The Wicked Wrench of the East Project Story Time! Skull and Tuck and Roll from Snowdub! My Muppet from another puppet show back, TJC! And a good morning to Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington. LT, what's up, brother? Lord Bob, what is going on, brother? Hope you are doing well. Hope you all are doing well. Good morning, everybody. Lady Aaron D, what's up, Lady Aaron? Hope you are doing well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys doing? It is Thursday. It is Thursday. We didn't do our hump day thing yesterday. So it is Thursday. We're getting close. We are so close to the end of the week. We're so close to Friday. One day away for all you kids out there that want to enjoy the weekend and go and chill out and party and get some popcorn and go to a movie. Who else is going to Lord of the Rings? Who else next month is going to see Lord of the Rings extended 4K editions in theaters? Raise your hand. Ha 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 ha. I'm going to see it, and I'm going to review them because that's what we do, right? That's what we do. It's a tan, Loki, a fucking tan. Oh, I've dropped an F-bomb in the first 4 minutes of the show. Oops. I can't wait. I can't wait to go see. I haven't gone and seen Lord of the Rings in theater. The last one was like an all day. Oh my Lord. It was like all 3 movies all in one day. And the theater wasn't that great. This time, XD. So it's going to be a huge theater. I can't wait. I am, so I can get in a good 3-hour nap, Loki. I get it. There are a couple people, actually it'd be a 4-hour nap each day. So the way this works is Saturday, they're on at 4 or 5 o'clock. Sunday, they're on at 4 or 5 o'clock. I can't remember whether it's 4 or 5. Monday, it starts at 7. Which means that Return of the King, we're not getting out of there till like 11:30 midnight. That's going to be something. That's going to be something. So I can't wait to see Two Towers. That's my big one. Two Towers. I love Two Towers. I think that's the best movie out of all of them. But we'll see. We'll see. Return of the King is good. It's just got a long ending. That ending lasts like an hour. So, I love it. I love it. Loki. Hail, sir. Apologies for my tardiness. Had a cognitive behavior therapy session. Don't worry about it, Henry. You're all good, bro. You're all good. Henry sent me a message. Just sorry, I had to cut out. I had to go do da-da-da-da. You're all good, bro. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for ringing that bell. I appreciate it. I do. Ghost Rider. I've relocated to Lakeland, Florida. I've stopped feeling sorry for myself and have begun my operation to take vengeance upon those that wrong me. Vengeance through success. Hell yeah. That's the way you do it. That is the way you do it. You know how you get revenge on the people that are like, you'll never be anything. You'll never do this. You'd be successful. Be successful in what you do. Fight and don't stop fighting. Fellowship is the best of the three. Project Storytime. Everybody's got their favorite. I really love Fellowship, but to me, Two Towers is like, oh, steal my beating heart. Two Towers is my 10. It's my 10. It's an effing 10, Loki. So, the extended version. The extended version. Who even watches the theatrical versions anymore? Does anybody here watch the theatrical versions of Lord of the Rings? Or does anybody pretty much like watch the extended versions? I don't ever watch the theatrical versions. I never do. I never do. It's always, yeah, Helm's Deep. The horn of Helm Hammerhand will sound in the deep once more. Yes! Yeah, Gimli gets all excited. He's like, yeah! Yeah, let's go! So I can't wait. I can't wait. There's a theatrical cut, right? Exactly. What theatrical cut? Look, there's only one cut of Lord of the Rings, and that's the extended editions. Saw all three on Xmas Eve in the theater when they came out. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Arlena says extended edition only for me. I've got something for y'all this morning. So it turns out, before we get into our DEI rant this morning, it turns out there are some people out there, some people in the press, some people out in what we call the woke verse, that have started admitting they take a certain medication that was pretty much like blacklisted during the coup, right? And it seems that some of those people are starting to speak out. These people that scolded you, these people that told you you were horrible for not doing what the government told you to do, that you were horrible for not doing what everybody else needed to do, that you were horrible, that you should be shunned, that you should be removed from society, that you should be kicked out. These people have been taking the boogeyman pill this whole time.
Oh, I built up a strong affinity for taking this medication because it will keep me safe. Whereas I may have, I may just drop dead if I take the poke.
You guys owe a whole bunch of people an apology. There needs to be channels that are reimbursed for what you took from them. There are channels that need to be, you need to apologize to them motherfuckers for striking them down, for cutting them off, for doing what you have done to them. There needs to be a huge investigation into the people that pushed all this, that advocated all this. We need to know why the press was so involved in all of this crap. People need to get their jobs back. People need to get their lives back. People need to get their livelihoods back. They need to get their reputations back. They need to get, I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely positively insane. Cycle of 9 with a $5 super chat. What's up, brother? Give me 100 of my kin in a year. I will make it so enemies break on this place like water. Absolutely. Absolutely. Put Arlena's video back up. Put Arlena's video back up. Why is Arlena's video still not back up? I would challenge it, Arlena. I would go back and challenge it. I would go back and challenge it again. If you have the ability to do that, go back and challenge it again. I know you're not going to come back to the YouTubes, but go back and challenge it again just because. Go back and challenge it again just because and see what they will do. A lot of people deserve an apology. Plain, simple facts. A lot of people deserve an apology. They deserve their jobs back. They deserve their health back. If they received something uber bad, if they have heart problems now, if they have issues from the poke, they deserve their day in court. Period. They deserve their lives back. People deserve their lives back. You played this game with people where you scared the living shit out of them. And what's it all about? Apparently it's all about money, because this little bottle of pills they could have given you was cheap. It was nothing. It didn't cost anything. This big campaign to poke you in the arm, that was expensive. That was hundreds of billions of dollars. That was a huge mistake. And the big dogs that rolled all this up and made you smoke it, they're not going to tell you that. But more and more people are coming out and they're actually talking about it. So this is horrible. It's pretty hard to bring back a loved one who lost family. You know, at the end of the day, for me, I could care less about the YouTube bullshit. I got a video struck down. I don't care. I lost family. You can't get that back. You can't fix that. Family passed away in the hospital alone. You couldn't go and see him. You couldn't go and see him. How are you going to fix that? How are they going to fix that? With money? They don't even want to give you any money. Why? Because they spend it all on this magic poke that just makes you sick, and the shit going on halfway across the world. It's already spent. They have no money to give you. And they protected these companies and covered for them. And it wasn't just the government doing it. It was the news agencies doing it. It was every single news agency that said you will be shunned and you will be removed from society. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your family. You're going to lose all this stuff if you don't do what we tell you to do. That's what's sad. So as more of this comes out, as more people start to admit, I wasn't the bad guy, it was ma. I hope these people get what's coming to them. Kumo, man, you know what? I hope you get what's coming to you. I really do. Because you were one of those people pointing fingers at everybody, saying this, and now you're like, oh, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Now that it's like, years later. Pussy. Right there. Pussy. So, you know who's not a pussy? Flynn. Flynn lives! Except in the new Disney movie. He may be back, but he won't be living. Because it won't be really Flynn. It'll be somebody else. So, rant about that over. I'm sorry I'm a little... It's very humid here. And that's like screwing with me hardcore. So I have a friend that after 12 years as a recon Marine was told to hit the road for not taking it. Right there. Right there. Charlotte Pittman, the folk fucking killed my person. Nope. We're not. Nope. They knew. He doesn't have to testify because they knew. They all knew. All of them. And they made bank. They made bank. They made bank off of shaming you. And you know what? This DEI crap, it isn't much better. It isn't much better. But the companies that are working it and doing it, you don't see them bringing in a buttload, do you? You see them firing people. So let's get into this. Let's get into this DEI garbage. Recently, there was a whole bunch of layoffs in Sega. Sega, right? Game company had a bunch of this inside the company. They fired a whole bunch of people. Some good people got caught in the crossfire, but they looked at everybody that wasn't doing 110%, that wasn't pushing it, that wasn't pushing the envelope, that wasn't doing their job, and they went, bye. Creative Assembly, the people who make the Total Warhammer games, they got hit. Some people were let go. And there's been a bunch of, we lost some good people, but not all the people were good people. Not all the people were good people. You see, what these companies are going through right now, what Sony is going through, why Sony is doing this big push on the PC platform, is because they are not generating the revenue they need to. They're not selling games like you think they're selling games. They're not bringing in the revenue on games, and they're losing money on consoles. So if you're losing money on consoles and you're not bringing the money in on the games, how can you continue to stay in business? One of the things that's been going on in the background is this push for DEI, this push for diversity and inclusion, this push for you have to change the landscape of your games. You have to make them look different. You have to do this. You have to include these people. You have to blah, 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 blah. Companies like Sweet Baby Inc., they give you the ability to get a much smaller interest loan on games you haven't even made yet. But it's still a loan, and you still have to pay that money back, but it's a lower interest loan. So if you're like, well, you know what, we're going to, instead of having to pay the bank back 2.5%, we're going to pay the bank back 0.5% because we're going to go with this company that will give us the ability to get this lower interest rate loan. And because we do that, we're going to have to do a little shop and swap, okay? We're going to have to swap out this character for that character. We're going to have to get this in the storyline. We're going to have to blah, 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 blah. And they think over time, this is going to save us a lot of money because we're going to have a lower interest rate loan. We're going to be making smaller payments back, and this will pay for, in the long run, it'll more than pay for what we're going to have to pay these companies like Sweet Baby Inc. to provide this loan. We've just got to bend and break a little bit. We're not going to lose any customers. This is the big lie. This is what they've told themselves. This is what they've convinced themselves up. We're not going to lose anybody. We're just going to gain because it's going to open the games up to more people. So Project Cambrian, you aren't going anywhere. You'll always be a Sony fan. Zombie Box Reviews, you're not going anywhere. You're a Sony fan. You'll always be a Sony fan. Punk Waddle, you have a PlayStation. You're always going to be a PlayStation player. They do not comprehend that people get tired of this shit and they walk away. Once a PlayStation gamer, always a PlayStation gamer. We'll have you for life. We can do whatever we want to. No, it doesn't work that way. And their game sales have shown that. Their game sales have proven that. You don't get to screw with everything and then say, "Oh, well, where are you guys at? Why aren't you supporting the company?" If I came on here and said, "You know what? You guys are absolute crap. I don't like you, but tomorrow I might." I don't expect you guys to be here tomorrow. If I call you ists, obes, and yahtzees today, and I demean you, and I talk down to you, and act like I'm above you, and I go, "How dare you?" I don't expect you guys to come back tomorrow. Some people do. And you know what? Some of them do. Some people like being talked down to. Some people like having their nuts put in a vice by someone. I've seen it. How do you know you've seen it? Because you can look at any simp on any of this crap we've got to today, and you'll see the simps just, you will. You damn straight you will. Why? Because they can't help themselves. We're not simps. We're not, oh my God, you can do whatever you want. We'll always be there. Like I said, this is the last generation of console I'm buying. I've got a superpowered PC. All I have to do in the next 2 years, if I want to stay hip and with it and have the best graphics, is swap out a video card. That's it. I've got a 3090 in that son of a bitch back there. That's all I'm going to have to swap out in the next couple of years is that 3090. Okay, the processor that's in there, it's like 36 hyper thread, fucking badass video editing Ubermach computer. So I don't have to worry about that. I've got more RAM than NASA. I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to buy another console. I'm not going to buy another console. I'm not going to buy another Xbox either. Don't think this is just PlayStation. PlayStation's getting all the heat right now. Microsoft's been doing this shit for a while. Xbox is just as bad. The only difference is they've got their online shit and PC shit handled. They did the same thing with Forza though. See, they tried this shit with Forza. Forza Horizon, what was it, 4 or 5? Whatever it was, whatever the last one was, I can't play online. Do you know why? Because I was doing a save transfer from PC to Xbox and something happened. And next thing I know, I get an email saying, you've been banned. You've been banned from playing online. I was like, can you please explain why? I haven't done anything. I played on PC. I tried to transfer my shit over to Xbox because guess what? PC, Xbox, you own the same game. You don't have to own two versions like Sony. You don't have to have two versions like on Sony. You don't have to have a PC version and a PlayStation version because they want to double dip and sell you the game twice. Microsoft, you just have to have one copy. It works on your PC. It works on your Xbox. That's simple. Those fuckers over at Turn 10 send me an email. Yeah, sorry, you're banned. You can't play. You can play the game, you still own it, but you can't do any of the online features. No special cars, no auctions, no nothing. You can play the base game. There you go. They've been doing this shit for a while. They've been working their shit out, and they still suck. I'm sorry, but Xbox today sucks. Why? Because they fed into all of this crap. It's easy money, ladies and gentlemen. Why, but Loki, why not just get a loan from the regular bank? Why put up with this? Because they pay a lot less back. And the fee for getting into this is minuscule. They just have to work with a bunch of blue-haired landwells that want to tell them how to make their game. It's that simple. They want to tell you how you have to play your game. Pacific 414, you have the best alternative to a console, Loki's Mornings of Mischief. You can upgrade your PC. You can't upgrade an existing console. That's right. That's right. I'll just play PC. I'm not doing a console. I'm not. Attention, people of the internet. Loki lies. We need to shut up, get baxed, and give all the gaming companies all of our data so we can be good sheep and cattle. Stay silent and follow Biden's leadership. Who hacked your phone and who the hell are you? Because you're not Mexican Iron Man. Which one of your MILF girlfriends hacked your phone this morning and put that message in there? I had a PS4, but it no longer works. After this fiasco, I'll probably won't buy another one. I had a PS4 Pro. I sent that off to somebody. They got it. So, that's the only console I don't have, and I'm not buying another one. That's the only console that I don't have sitting up on the shelf. I've got the 1001 PS1. I've got two PS2 or PS1 minis. I've got a PS2 mini. I've got a PS3, whatever the Killzone version was, and I've got a PS5. I don't need another console, and they all work. They're all functional. They'll all play games. I don't have mild girlfriends. You are insulting the future first lady. Mild girlfriends? I know, they're all crazy. They're all nuts. Of course you don't have mild girlfriends. They're all nuts. Love you, bro. Mim has suffered a cougar attack. Yes, absolutely. Console free since Sega Master System 2. There are so many alternatives now to consoles. There's so much stuff out there that you can do and you can use, from everything from PS3 games all the way back, catalog it. There's just so much that you have access to now that it just doesn't matter anymore. It does not matter. Consoles don't matter. There's so much game gravy out there that you can dig into and have fun with, that why worry about any of this shit? Because I gotta have the newest thing. Well, then you're not into it for gaming and enjoyment. You're into it for having the newest thing. You're into it for having something flashy that you can be like, look what I got. Low-key, I don't have the money for a gaming PC. If it comes to choosing, I might just go hunting. Go hunting. Go out. Have fun your way. I know that you can get a really good, computer for emulation. It's not that expensive. You don't have to spend, $5,000 on a gaming PC now. You can spend, $800, $900 on an emulation station. So you just go there, and that has all the games on it. So you don't have to buy any games for it. That comes with games. So you don't have to deal with any of this crap. Go back. You have an entire back catalog of Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo 64, Nintendo GameCube, PS1, PS2, Sega Dreamcast. The Sega Dreamcast alone has like months and months and months of games you can play, and some really, really good ones. One of my favorite fighting games, which is the SNK versus Capcom games. One of my favorite fighting games is on Dreamcast. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's a ton of stuff you can do. Do you have an Atari, Loki? I do not have the 2600 that my parents had. I wish I did. Because they had a huge collection of games. They had half a dozen control sticks. Boo, 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 boo. I would have loved to have that Atari 2600. Sadly, I do not. I've got everything from Nintendo. I've got the original Game Boy that still works. I've got Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, a PS1, Dreamcast, Xbox, Xbox 360, and the Xbox. I don't have a 1X or a 1. I've got the last one, the Series X, which is the Halo edition. And that's the only reason why I've kept it. The only reason why I've kept my Xbox is because it's the Series X Halo edition, the Cortana version, and I've got all the other Halo Xboxes. Right there is the 360, the Halo 4 360 edition. Back here, out of view, is the original OG green see-through Master Chief edition of the Xbox in the box. I collect those because they mean something to me. They mean something to me. If it was my parents' 2600, yeah, I would have loved to have that. Sadly, I don't. I'm probably not going to buy one because I've got all the Atari games that I can emulate. So I'll just play them that way. If I want to go back and play an Atari game, but you've got thousands of hours. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all PS2, all that stuff's out there. PS2 is the best system. PS2 is hands down the best system PlayStation ever came out with. It's got the best games. PS3's got some pretty damn good games, but they don't have the best games. PS2 library is massive. It would fill up probably this entire room if I had all the PS2 games. I got some Xbox stuff here, some OG Xbox stuff. All the PS2 stuff's on the other side of the room. But it's not like I've got a giant library. I've got 3 stacks of PS1 games that are about that tall. And then I've got some PS2 games. All that stuff I've been hauling around forever. Except for the PS1 games, because things got so bad at one point that I sold my entire PS1 collection. You know why I did it? Pay rent. That was my fault. I was stupid. I have an N64 that works. If you want it, I'll try to bring it to the next meetup. Dude, if you don't want it, the only consoles that I've got are Nintendo ones. Is a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo. I don't have GameCube. I don't have a Wii. I don't have a Wii U. I don't have none of that shit. I thought that the GameCube was a good console. It's a pretty good console. I like the games. I just hated the mini discs. I didn't mind that you couldn't play DVDs on it. I was never a big I've got to have a console to play a DVD. When I got my PS2, I didn't have a DVD player. So that was like entry level. But I burned it out. I ruined the laser by playing so many damn movies on it. So eventually I learned don't put movies like the Xbox, don't put movie discs in an OG Xbox. You will burn it out. Don't put movie discs in a damn PS2. You will burn it out. If you watch a whole shitload of movies all the time, you'll just wear it out. So just don't. Anyway, they want you to believe that this is the way you need to do things. You will be encouraged. You will have this score, this DEI score, this ESG score. It'll be easier to work with banks. You'll be able to work with more banks. You'll be able to get better loans. But if people don't like your content, then it doesn't matter. Sony is in deep shit. They cannot continue. Do you think the Sony a couple of years ago would have bent the knee to anybody? No. They would have told all those gamers with Helldivers to go F themselves. And it wouldn't have been on PC. It would have just been on their PS5. So the problem wouldn't have happened in the first place. They are kissing the PC community's ass right now because they have to have the sales. And a lot of people just went right back. They were like, okay, I'm going to undo my bad review because of this company. And then I'm going to go back to playing this PlayStation game. You know what? I stopped with Stellar Blade. I got past the first big part of the map. When all this Helldiver shit happened, and I just stopped. I started playing Super Robot Wars. I just stopped. I'm like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the PS5. I really don't. I don't know if I'm gonna sell it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just know that I'm done with this. The console wars are over. Whether you realize it or not, and they're not going to tell you this, the console wars are over. It's done. Nintendo is beating the shit. They don't have to have their games online. Why? Because their games are selling like hotcakes. And they've got a much bigger selection on Switch. And I guarantee you the Switch 2 will be able to play all the Switch games. I guarantee you. They'll move the store over and it'll be like, oh, look, it's just a better, faster console. And you'll have updated games. Because that seems to be the way right now. Oh, well, you've got this version on PS4. Well, guess what? We've got a PS5 version that looks better. That seems to be the way today, just to release the game again and again and again and again and again. Skyrim started that. I'm PC gamer. I hate consoles. They kept gaming back for so long. You couldn't take advantage of the power a PC had because anything ported over acted like ass on PC. Because it wasn't made for PC. It was made for these consoles. It's the shape of the PS5 reminds me of Brandon Lee's headstone. It is an odd shape, but I don't care as long as it's badass and it works and it gives you what you want. These aren't giving you what they want. Switch games aren't dropping in price, and you don't see a plethora of them in the used game section. No, you don't. You might see one. Punk Waddle's nailed it. Punk Waddle's seeing where Loki's going. Punk Waddle's like, okay, Loki, I'm getting it. You'll see a shitload of PS4, PS5, Xbox games, but you only see like one or two Switch games up on the rack at Walmart in the discount aisle that's not protected by the glass. It's the truth. Switch games sell. Switch games sell. Nintendo games sell. It's the best selling console, and it's not even a console, it's a handheld of this generation. And no one talks about it. Oh, it's PS5, Xbox, PS5, Xbox. PS5 is hurting. PlayStation is hurting. Sony of America is hurting. They're trying to keep themselves from going under. No one wants to talk about this. No one wants to tell you this. They are going under. They have to be successful on PC. They have to resell you games they've already come out with on PC, or they are sunk. They are going to die. But that can't be right, Loki, because, that's PlayStation. It's the home of Call of Duty. Not anymore. Home of Call of Duty is Xbox. That's a fact, Jack. And Xbox is getting ready to raise its ultimate game live Xbox Live shit again and take Call of Duty off of there. Tisk tisk. They've done this to themselves by going, what's the best? Where can I get the best deal possible? What's the cheapest deal? And they're closing studios. How many studios did Microsoft buy? And they've closed in the last 4 years. How many? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Half a dozen? A dozen? 2 dozen? How many studios did they buy up and shutter over the last 4 or 5 years? Do you think they did that because they just wanted to close them down? Both Xbox and Sony use the redheaded stepchild of graphics. Both run on AMD. That's right. That's right. How y'all doing? Gravy. Holy shit. Call of Duty is primarily for either YouTubers or teenagers who love calling each other. Yeah, that one. So why go through all this? They thought they were this is going to be the best way to make money. Guess what? You were wrong. You were wrong. And all these people feed into it. How dare you? You need to get out. How dare you like boobies and butts and da-da-da-da-da. This needs to be censored and that needs to be censored. And you get a censorship and you get a censorship and you get a censorship. And these people cheering that don't even buy their product. Are you starting to wake up, game companies? Are you starting to wake up, Sony? Are you starting to wake up, Xbox? Or is it going to be too late before you finally figure out these people don't buy your games? They don't play your shit. They don't buy your consoles. They don't want your product. We did. I wanted, you know what? I wanted the PS4 to be like the Renaissance era of the PS3. Because the PS3 was so weird. It had some great games, but it was weird architecture and people didn't like working on it. I wanted the PS4 to be like, okay, we learned from the PS3 and now we're going to do it even better. And it was like minimum effort. And then they come out with the PS5. The PS5 is like so much more powerful. You can do this, you can do that. Where are the games? Where are the games? Sony, where are the games for the PS5? How long is the PS5? I had my PS5 before I moved back to Texas. Where's the games? Where's the library? You know what? Here's the deal. You go to GameStop. Go to GameStop, go to Walmart, go wherever. Walmart has the PS5 and the PS4 games in the same cases. There's 2 cases. Two. And it's mixed with PS4 and PS5. Go to GameStop. You've got 2 racks. Just 2. Off in a corner. One side of one of the racks is for empty boxes that say coming soon. And then you've got a section of new games on the other side of the empty boxes, and then you've got used games, and it's all mixed in with PS5 and PS4. That's how many games you have. You can't even have your own section away from your old console. And how many years have you been out now? At least 4 years. Have we had the PS5 for 4 years? Yeah. We're going to have another console and you're not even going to have a game library for PS5. What is up with that? It's not because it's hard to work on like the PS3 and you had 20 times the library on the PS3. So if it's not hard to work on, it's not a system that's hard to work on like the PS3. Why do you have just this small little nothing burger of a game section? You have more sports games than you have anything else. Maybe that's the problem. The always online, I want to sell cards, I want to do this. I want to keep making money on the same game for a year. I want to make more money off the in-game store over the course for a year than I want to make selling you the game. You know, Tekken 8 just went on sale. Do you know I was going to buy that? I was waiting for the first sale. I was waiting for the first sale for Tekken 8 when all the reviews went to shit. I mean, this was a fighting game that was like better than Mortal Kombat, better than Street Fighter 6, better. I mean, everything was like, this kicks the shit out of all of it. All the reviews, stellar reviews, almost entirely positive. Finally, I get a thing on Steam. This game's on sale. And I'm like, yeah, da-na-na, da-na-na-na. And it's like mostly negative. And I went, what? I go and I look at the reviews. Open in-game item store, blah, blah, blah. Completely screwed over fans. What's the point of having DLC packages when you're going to come out with all this shit in the store that you can't bundle and you are overcharging everybody for it. And I was like, oh, they double dipped. They sold people a season pass, and then 3 months later opened an in-game store for cash, not points, not stuff you win in the game, cash, cold hard cash. You've got to get you've got to buy gems or some stupid shit like that, right? And it's all expensive, and you can't get it any other way. That's exactly why people were pissed at Mortal Kombat. That's exactly why people were pissed at Street Fighter. What did you do? You fell in line and said, let's open an online store after we come out with the game for 3 months. You didn't know anxiety playing a game when your torch went out plays Zork. Psychodorp 9. I bought a computer specifically to fly Elite Dangerous. Then they dropped the console and upped the requirements for a broken game. Yep. And now you can't even do, okay, you can do the VR thing, but it's not officially supported anymore. Why? Because you have these sections of the game where you're on foot and you can't use a helmet while you're on foot. So if you do any of the on foot stuff, you can't use your VR helmet. That sucks. That sucks. I want to tell you, one of the coolest things was getting my HOTAS, my throttle and my stick and all that, setting all that up, putting on that helmet, and looking at my hands move the controls in the game, looking over and being like boop, 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 and flying. Because it completely opened up avenues that you never knew you had before. Okay? When you get in an Eagle and you can look up and look out the cockpit and track your opponent in ways you could never do that before, that's absolutely brilliant. Because a lot of what would happen is they'd go vertical and you go to chase after them, and then they'd flip. They'd flip over and cross your line of sight again, and you'd have to flip up over and chase them. Well, if you're flying and you're looking up and you're tracking them in real time and they flip, you can flip with them and boom, 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 and that's their ass. That's their ass. You can counter perfectly by head tracking the camera. Can't do that anymore because they fucked it up. They screwed it up because they thought they could do something better. What they aren't telling you in any of this is all about money, and this is all about failure now. They have screwed up so bad, people are just walking away. People are done. People have had it. You saw how fast the community turned on a dime on Helldivers. That is what they have to contend with now. Sony had to bend the knee. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. They had to go, we screwed up. We hear you. We won't require you to sign into PSN. We hear you. We screwed up. Our bad. They had to do that. If this was any other time in the last 5 years, they would have told the community to go F themselves. But they are so desperate for sales and so desperate to break into the PC market, they had to bend the knee. They had to. They don't have a choice. You've got them over a barrel. UB Player has Sony over the barrel, not the other way around. And why? Because they're so screwed right now. They have to bring everything to PC. They have to. So when you speak up, they've got to listen. And if you speak up in unison, They've got to, they have to. They don't have a choice. Those community managers came out and called you ists, obes, Yahtzees. They went after your family. They were scrolling on Facebook looking for people's wives so they could report them. There's all kinds of shit they were pulling, and Sony had to pull back the reins and go, we can't allow it. We can't do it. We can't let this happen. We hear you. Go back to playing. God save the Queen. Thank you for being our customers. When have you seen that in the last 5 years from any company? Think about this real hard. Have you seen it from Paramount with Star Trek? Have you seen it from Disney? From anything? From Marvel? Star Wars? Any of it? Have you seen it from Xbox? Xbox would tell you to go F yourself. Xbox would tell you this is the way it is. This is what you have to do. Deal with it. Sony can't, because Sony's just now breaking into this. Sony's just now going, we have got to increase revenue, and we've got to start double dipping on our game sales and selling them to PC players. Let me ask you this question. Why can't you just get on your PSN account? It takes 2 seconds and download the game that you're playing and play it on PC. Huh? If the PSN account is so mandatory, why can't I just have Ghost of Tsushima on console and PC? I already bought it once. Why do I have to buy it again? Because they have to sell it to you again. But why? Because they don't have enough revenue coming in. You're starting to get the picture here. They are not making enough money to stay in business. Sony will flounder and Sony will die if it does not get onto the PC market. How many times have you asked yourself, God, why can't Sony just come out with this on PC? Why can't we just get God of War on PC? Why can't we just get Spider-Man? We did on PC, and they double dipped all the game sales. And that, my friends, that is when Sony went, maybe we've got something here. Maybe we need to do this more, because we just made a shit ton of money on Spider-Man on PC. It's like opening day all over again. First day sales all over again. Why not? Why not sell it to the customer twice? If they're willing to buy it twice. Loki lying about his PlayStation. Saw him online on MLB playing as a new transgender, purple-haired, non-binary MLB outfielder. You lying son of a bitch. Mike asked me one day on EBN, why the hell do you own 3 different versions of the same game? And I said, I got the PS4 version because the PS5 wasn't out yet. I paid to upgrade to the PS5 version. I've got the physical edition and I got it on PC. Why? Because it was that good of a game. It's got to be one hell of a game for Loki to be like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I am rewarding them because it was one hell of a game. You know what I've been wanting to do for days? I've been wanting to do Ghost of Tsushima on PC. And I'm not going to pre-order it. There is a site where you can get, like, as soon as the game comes out, you can get it for half off. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but because I may just not buy it. You've lost my sale. I've got it on console. Why do I need it on PC? What have you done to deserve my money again for the same game? You haven't. And you know what? That sucks because Sucker Punch, I like their games. I really do. But Sony, you have been a bad boy. And I think we're at an end. We are at an end. Screw pre-orders. There you go. Screw pre-orders. You never know what the game's going to turn out to be like. You never know what the game's going to turn out to be like. Did I do that with Rebirth? Yes, I did. And I bought the physical copy too. I got the big box edition. So I paid for it twice. Why did I do that? I didn't think I was going to get my physical copy. I did. And eventually I got my statue. It took longer to get the statue that I was promised, but snowed up. Ghost of Tsushima is definitely in my top 5 of all time. Yeah, it's one of the best games ever made. I hope they make another one. I hope they have the opportunity to make another one. Why is this happening? Because games cost $200 million a pop now for AAA. They're costing what it costs to make a Marvel movie. Does anybody remember when Mass Effect came out, the original Mass Effect? Do you know what that cost BioWare? It didn't cost them $200 million. It wasn't even close. And that's one of the best games of all time. Wasn't even close. Mass Effect 2 broke records when it came out. And as far as like character building, I don't even think that's as good a game as the first game. But the action was better. So you got to give and got to take a little bit. But then you come out with Mass Effect 3 that completely enraged the fan base and everybody hated it. And they had to. They had to fix it. They had to. It was a different time. The DEI stuff, ladies and gentlemen, is going to bring some corporations to an end. Some companies are going to go out of business because of this DEI, credit score, ESG bullshit. That's what's going to happen. They don't see it happening because they think they have access to unlimited funds. We can't afford to do this. We'll just take out a loan to cover it. And it'll be such small interest and they're borrowing that money from you. They're borrowing that money from you. That's coming out of your retirement money. BlackRock, all them fuckers, it's coming out of your retirement money. They're taking loans on your retirement. Think about that. You're paying for all this DEI, ESG bullshit. You are the ones paying for it. Whether you want to or not, you're paying for it. You're loaning your money out and you have no choice in the matter. And you're not making a whole bunch of money back on it either. Pennies on the dollar. So what can you do? You can't do anything about it until all of this shit stops. Just like what we talked about at the beginning of the show. The poke, the jab. We're just finding out about all this now. We're just finding out about all these people that are like, no, I've been taking the horse warmer this entire time. Yeah, I wonder why. Why didn't you say anything before? Oh, because I'd get called an Istanomiyatsi if I did. We live in a world of pussies that don't want to take responsibility for the shit they say, that don't want to take responsibility for the shit they do, and they don't want to take responsibility for the money that they lose either. You just take one look at Iger over at Disney and you can see that. They don't want to take responsibility for anything. They don't feel they have to. And they sure as shit don't think they have to explain anything to you, me, or Dupree over there. I hope this has been a good stream for you guys. All of you that got screwed, that got screwed over, that got fired, that lost someone, that got kicked off of YouTube, whatever it was during the coup, just for speaking up and speaking your mind. I salute each and every one of you, because the shit you've had to deal with is all bullshit. And I've been right there with you. I've been right there. I lost a parent in the middle of all that. I lost a parent right before it started. I lost a parent after it started. I got struck on YouTube for speaking my mind. It's all bullshit, and you're being lied to. Don't take it anymore. Stand up and say, no, I'm not going to be led around by a collar, by the government, by the news agencies, not anything else. Think for yourselves. Speak your own mind. Whether you want to believe something or not, hold to what you do believe. And remember, Flynn lives. That's the most important thing. Guys, we're going to send you over to Machini's. Let me, I was just about to go out and I'm like, oh, Machini's been talking about Stellar Blade. Machini's been talking about the game stuff and DEI stuff. Make sure you check out his channel. He's been kicking ass, taking names. His drawing skills are second to none. And a big shout out for having me on. He'll probably never have me on for a birthday stream ever again, because I roasted him for his birthday. But that's because I love him and he's a great guy, and I wish him all the best. We've got a great team in the morning. When Snowdub's in here, he leads the charge first thing, doing his thing. I understand it's really hard to get up that early, because he'd be getting up at like 4 a.m. Maybe when the time changes, he'll be back. I don't know. But when he does, the spot's open for him. And then, this show, Machini's show. So guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend Anner. And we're sending over to you Machini's right now. Have a great Thursday, everybody. We'll be back with some 7 Kinds of Mischief later tonight. Have a great one, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.